Oh, glorious joy. A wondrous grind between two incredible disasters who have both been eliminated from the playoffs. The less said about this one, the better. It was looking like the Colts were going to be forced to win, but the extremely ineffective Trevor Siemian suffered a mercy injury. If a defense can make Brock Osweiler look godlike, you should seriously consider deleting your franchise. Or at least revoked from Jim Irsay. He could pawn off his guitar collection to compensate the poor fans that showed up to this shit. Can we talk for a moment about how much of a wasted season this has been for the Bears? An elite running back tandem and a stout defense will be lost to the abyss because of how Chicago's executive brass has screwed everything up. But do you want to know what will help them? SeatGeek. How it works is simple. It's an app that consolidates all tickets being sold on the web and presents them to you in an easy-to-use manner. SeatGeek is definitely more efficient than the Bears' offense. A 1 to 100 scale is utilized to grade tickets. A low score is like John Fox's approval rating. It's red. You do not want this. If it's a high grade like Jordan Howard in most weeks, it's a definite buy. You can even get a view of where your seats are and what the view will be like. Even better, if you use the code word TREE on the link below, you get $20 off your first purchase. With playoff season coming up, it's going to be hard to get your hands on some quality tickets, but SeatGeek can definitely help with getting you to the games while not breaking the bank. I personally think the app would do a better job of coaching than Fox, regardless. Those Lions jerseys are pretty nice, though. In a rather surprising contest to claim the de facto lead in the AFC West, the Chargers and Chiefs duel with playoff implications for both squads. In a throwback to previous years, those Bolts chose to take the piss, despite what everyone was saying was a legit winning streak. It's as if playing a real team like the Andy Reid show instead of a cakewalk schedule will expose those glaring flaws. LA, enjoy your mediocrity. You had your chance to assert dominance over the division and you blew it royally. Although it's par for the course because they can't beat the Chiefs if their lives depended on it. Playoff hopes have taken a serious blow. Chinga tu madre, Spanos! There's nothing new to see here. The Bungles are still pathetic and got completely massacred when having to face a real team like Minnesota. The offense was non-existent and the deep brilliantly allowed the Vikings to march all over them. Don't you worry, Cincinnati, there is some good news. Marvin Lewis is resigning at the end of the year to pursue other opportunities. Not fired on his ass, walking away right after his contract expires. If you need any more proof that the Bengals are a joke of an organization, look no further than this. This guy should have been fired years ago, yet is allowed some semblance of dignity because Mike Brown is a cheap ass. But here's a twist. Marvin is denying these claims and still considering a return. Whatever, they would underpay some schmuck that will poorly manage the team for another 10 years anyway. It is said that the hopes of Cardinals die not with a bang, but with withering to old age. It makes a lot of sense, as Arizona is all but the retirement home of the league. Injuries have ravaged this team all season long, and walked into D.C. only to be quietly strangled into the night by the Redskins. The Cardinals are officially eliminated from playoff contention. I'm honestly more surprised it hadn't happened earlier. By the way, whatever happened to AP? That makes a ton of sense. I'm glad to see that my jinxing skills haven't lost any sort of luster. A major example of this being the Miami Dolphins, a team that upended the Patriots the previous week only to collapse against the Bills. Jay Cutler became Jay Cutler again and just played like utterly rancid shit. Tyrod, on the other hand, torched that Miami D for one of the best first halves of his career. It was all but enough to get the W. Buffalo still has games against New England and the Dolphins again, which will decide the true fate of this walking mediocrity. It's going to be a tight race. Brace yourselves. Philly, you guys are in trouble. And no, it didn't have anything to do with Nick Foles, even if he played a really bad defense in the Giants. The true alarm is with your D. The Giants have been struggling on the offensive front all year, and you allowed them to waltz all over MetLife. Eli Manning